So our next presenter, who I just had the pleasure of chatting with a little bit before he came up here, is Dr. William Richardson. Some people called him Bill. He is a physical therapist. He is passionate about the science of human movement, the fun of volunteering, and the unification of the two to enhance our life, which, you know, I was just bending his ear, which he already knew about this, so I was just telling him what he knew, but I think we all are, whoa, goes dark, real dramatic, about how we're hearing so much about how our health is so interconnected between our bodies and all these different levels of our minds, and, you know, these specific treatments need to be replaced or augmented with holistic things. So not just physical, but also emotional, mental, and community stuff. So I think we're really going to learn a lot from Dr. Bill. I'm just hoping that that's an okay name to call him. He has his degree from the Texas Women's University. He serves as a board member and program director of the nonprofit Workout Help Out. Yeah. Come on up, Dr. Bill. Thank you.
All right, this needs to be a little higher. Thank you very much. So I'm not really talking about PT too much today. I'm actually talking about volunteering. So it's going to be kind of a shift, but I'll kind of intermingle them together. So I think just a quick little intro. For the most part, we can all agree that giving back to the community is a good thing, right? But why don't people do it? Is it time? Is it money? Is it a lack of information available to them? I think most people want to get back to the community, but it comes at a cost that is greater than that which they're willing to sacrifice, you know, the things that I just mentioned before. You know, I'm certain a lot of people here have skipped volunteer opportunities just to go hit the gym or something like that. But I'd argue that volunteering doesn't have to be a personal sacrifice. You know, in fact, it can be even more beneficial for you as a person and as a volunteer than it can be for the organization you're helping. And that's kind of what I'm going to speak to today. So I'm going to talk about my journey and some of my experience, and hopefully it resonates with a couple of you guys, and hopefully incites some form of action, whether that's volunteering, whether it's donating your money, or just better supporting the causes that you care about. Because I sincerely believe that the future of our country lies in our hands, and our personal choices and behavior carry a heavier weight than ever before in shaping the spirit of our nation, you know, with all this Trump rhetoric going around. There's only one slide on Trump, so I'm sure everybody knew that was coming. Okay, space bar, and we're good, yeah. Okay, this is me in a nutshell. I'm 31 years old. I'm a PT, obviously. I'm a recent uncle, dog lover, and health enthusiast. In my adult life, I primarily spent my time either exercising or studying exercise because I find it fascinating. But recently, I joined a local nonprofit, and now my free time is consumed with learning and developing new ways to get people involved in the community. So I didn't grow up in a household that promoted volunteerism, and the only people that I knew that volunteered were religious, and I wasn't really religious. So because of that, I never took much interest in the matter. So my first real volunteer experience was here in Guatemala with my PT classmates as we embarked on a service trip. I can honestly say this turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me. The trip made me realize that even me, a physical therapy student, the lowest form of life on the planet, according to my professor, Dr. Bartlett, had something that I could give back to people to help. And as a bonus, it didn't cost me any money. I was just using my skills, which worked out well because I didn't have any money and I was 6 figures in debt. So over the next few semesters of PT school, I was able to learn new ways about getting involved in the community. Here, I joined the Houston Fireballs, which is a youth power soccer team that offers a sport for kids who don't have very good use of their upper extremities. So on a whim, I wrote a $1,000 grant, and I ended up getting the grant to my surprise, which made me believe like I really could help out. That's a great shirt right there. Over the next few semesters of PT school, I was able to learn more about getting involved in the community. Oh, that's the slide I just said. I helped strengthen the community and volunteers. So switching the priority of a volunteer event from just the organization to the organization and the individual really works in terms of increasing volunteer numbers. So, whoops, this is the wrong. Okay, I want volunteering to be rewarding in every way possible. So in our model, people have more incentive to give 2 hours on a Saturday, as opposed to people going out and saying, you know, I have to go out and volunteer for 2 hours, I'll catch up with you later. I want people to be more enthusiastic about it. So I collaborate with the nonprofit community. Whenever people are asked about my organization, I give my elevator speech, and then they say, okay, so what's your cause? What do you actually support? We support volunteering. We have diversity in our events, which means we work with a lot of different nonprofits. And I want our volunteers to find a cause that resonates with them. Hold on, sorry. I got these mixed up totally. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. Somebody's very nice over there. Somebody is very nice over there. This is the one that I was just talking about. So let me just go back a little bit. We do work with a lot of, that's one of the unique things about us as a nonprofit organization, is that we work with these other nonprofits. As opposed to just being focused on ourselves, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. You have a cause that you want to work toward, but we're unique in the sense that we support all these other ones. We actually raise money for them. We provide volunteers to them. I track numerous volunteer metrics. As you can see, our volunteers, our turnout has averaged 50 in the last year. It went from 14 to 50 in just over a year, which is crazy. And honestly, whenever I have 14 on there, that was including myself and the other event organizer, just because I was depressed at how few people we had. So I share a message with people. Serving others is the best way to improve your own quality of life. We're looking to develop software that would streamline the nonprofit management process right now, and we want to share it with the nonprofit community for free. We're also developing further volunteer incentives in the form of a reward system. But why now? I think most of all, if not all of our country's challenges right now can largely be ameliorated by a healthier and happier populace. Furthermore, I feel no amount of money that we throw at these challenges will resolve them. It has to start with the individual showing more compassion and respect. By bringing people together, volunteering can actually improve physical and mental health. Over 16 million adults in the U.S. have currently been diagnosed with depression. The World Health Organization just last week published research that shows that depression has increased almost 20% over the last 10 years, which is insane when you think about that. Social technology has the potential to unite people in ways that were never fathomable in previous years. But now we've taken advantage of this and allowed this technology to replace human contact. Instead of going over to a friend's house, we can see and speak with each other through the internet. What a wonderful concept, right? Unless your friend is next door and you're using the internet to replace human interaction. So as you can see, volunteer rates have declined or at best remained relatively unchanged for some time now. Based on the percentage of your friends that you see on Facebook, you might think everybody's an ardent social justice supporter, and you might think these ranges would be closer to 90%, but they're not. Sharing your opinion on Facebook is only effective if it results in action. Here's the Trump slide. So our current political climate is damaging personal relationships. A rift is growing between friends and families, and there's no shortage of blame being hurled around. I believe programs and organizations that create a sense of unification, camaraderie, and cooperation between people of differing races, cultures, and belief systems is more critical than ever. So this is a reflection slide. That's what the cow's doing there. So be like this cow, reflect. What are you doing to support the causes that you care about? Are your beliefs and actions in alignment? Gandhi said, if we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. So we all have something to give, and if you don't think this is true, I truly feel sorry for you because you probably don't realize how lucky you are to be alive, to be in this country, to be here with your friends, to be enjoying beer tonight. So give whatever you can. Volunteer. If you don't have time, donate. If you don't have the money, help your nonprofit network. I want to encourage everyone in this room tonight to act on your beliefs instead of simply casting opinions. These days, that's entirely too easy. The only thing in this world that we truly have control over is ourselves and our behavior. Whatever happens in the political environment within our country, no law or declaration can change how you choose to behave toward other human beings. And I'm going to leave you with a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. He said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls that know neither victory nor defeat. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very
You're welcome.
powerful
Yeah.
and provocative and important right now. And I think that a lot of us in the room would agree that we're at a moment where so many things are changing and so much is in our own hands. And so, I mean, I will speak personally that I know I feel more than ever that I want to do things that make a difference and change and help our society and our community, writ small and writ large. It can also feel overwhelming. And so what advice would you give to us in this room about step one?
Step one with getting involved in the community.
Step one for helping, getting involved. You have the impetus to help. I know I want to do it. I get overwhelmed. What do I do?
I think you look at what you can do. You know, like I mentioned, I think some people, usually the number one thing is I don't have time, right? Everybody in here, I'm sure, is super busy. And if you don't have the time, you can always give money. That's an easy thing to do. Usually when I'm too lazy and I see something on Facebook and somebody says, hey, help us, I'm happy to give $20. You know, that's very easy. It's actually easier than giving your time. So I think all of us have something that we can do, you know, whether you think you do or not. Everybody can give back. I think, and it's more important now than ever, you know, with Trump and everything going on. Everybody is just at each other's throats. And I feel like, you know, no matter what happens, if we can just, it all starts with us, right? You know, just be nice to people. Just, I'm going on a tangent right now, sorry.
That's a good tangent. It's a good tangent. So in your organization, though, if I reached out to your organization, would your organization help me kind of figure out if I wanted to give time or help connect me with the organizations that you're
Yes, most definitely. So Workout Help Out, we do events every Saturday. So if you find any other organizations, you'll find volunteer events here and there. Ours is kind of easy. It's every Saturday. It's 2 hours. And on our website, we actually have information where you can find other organizations as well, because it can be kind of difficult. If you just type in Volunteer San Antonio, you'll get a bunch of links, then you'll go through all these rabbit holes. So one of the things that we try to do is to make it as easy as possible. So it's just, you know, it's like 4 buttons you can click. You find an event that you want, you sign up, and then you come out, and it's only 2 hours. So either way. I think
that's such a great thing, and I would encourage all of us, myself included, and my family, to say, let's all go to Workout Help Out over the next month and figure out how we can get involved. I think it's a great idea.
Yes, everybody.
That's why we're here. Thank you so much for doing this, and let's make that commitment if we can tonight.
Thank you.
To put some time in. Thank you so much.